Teddy Roosevelt famously said the best thing to do in any situation is make the right decision. The second best thing is to make the wrong decision. The worst thing is to make no decision. That and more on today's episode of the Good Leader Podcast. Cue the music. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, everyone, and welcome to an indecisive episode of the Good Leader Podcast. We shared that. We got a really wild cast of character today. So we got Lemuel. What's up, Lem?
Hey.
We got Brian.
Hello again, everyone.
And we've got Kyle.
Hey.
All right, today we're going to have Pixar Palooza where we talk about Finding Nemo. But before we get into that, my indecision is creeping up, guys. I got to tell you a story. Now, you know that Teddy Roosevelt quote is one of my favorite.
Yep.
Here's the thing. I'm living it right now.
Okay.
We got these two donkeys, Wilbur and Charlotte, and I'm being indecisive with them. Because here's the problem, okay? They're in a corral.
Are these literal donkeys that you own?
Yes.
Okay.
Wilbur and Charlotte.
Cool.
Yeah.
Those are great names, by the way.
Thank
It felt
you. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Like a parable or something.
No, not a parable or a joke. No. It's a true story. We got two donkeys. And typically, they live in the corral most of the time. We feed them every day. They have hay, that sort of thing. And I'm indecisive because I'm trying to think if we want to move them to where they're a little bit closer to the house. They're in the barn on the other side of the pasture where they can graze a little bit more. Do I want to build a pen right there? And I just haven't done anything. And so what's happening is I'm constantly, like almost on the daily, at least weekly, I'm having to do something where I'm like moving cattle panels where they can eat a little bit of grass here and eat a little bit of grass here. And I'm like makeshifting this thing. If I either don't move them and give them more hay, like give them a big round bale right now, or move them, build a pen and do that. But right now I'm just in this indecision, and it's not because any decision is necessarily better than the other. It's because I'm in the middle of indecision. And so my point today, good leader listeners, if you're out there, take action. We talked about Woody on the last episode and how my lesson was take action. Well, I'm thinking of that. And I'm like, you know what? Sometimes out there, you just need to make a decision. If you're out there in limbo, let me give you this one. The mental weight of indecision is greater than the physical cost of any decision. I kind of like that. I'm going to say it again. I'm seeing a lot in the Good Leader lab right here.
I'm processing it. Sorry.
The mental weight of indecision is greater than the physical cost of any decision. I think I stand by that. Oh, yeah.
I don't know if I do.
I'm seeing you guys churn on it.
I don't think I do.
Have you ever had a big decision that you put off?
I have, but also I'm thinking of like the extreme case
the worst.
of like military leaders who lose men.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like that's a pretty big physical cost.
Yeah, but do you think indecision is saving them men?
Well, no, but the mental weight of it is not as high as you know what I mean? I understand the ramifications.
I've never been a military leader, so I can't speak to either one of those.
I've watched Captain America, though.
I can't, but I have seen every Pixar movie.
My mind went to all of the micro decisions that sometimes come across my mind. That
is a micro decision just a decision?
A small, very small, insignificant decision.
Thus micro.
Yes.
Gotcha.
So like my wife will be, about to turn on a show and she'll bring something up, and there have been times I'm like, you want me to decide that right now? And she's like, oh, no. So then I just put it off to tomorrow.
Okay.
So
you just, okay.
I read a book one time called, I forget what it's called. It's like Algorithms to Live By is what it's called. I'm sorry. I remember.
Improving Your Memory?
Yes. That's by Joshua Foer. It's actually a really good one. Moonwalking with Einstein. No, this one is Algorithms to Live By. And it says the first time you come across a decision that you kind of like, pick it. So if it's like, hey, I don't know where I want to go out to eat today.
My Place Barbecue.
Well, there's McAllister. Oh, my place. I kind of like it. Okay, sure. Like, don't torture yourself with more options. Usually people only need like 2 to 3 options.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of what I'm getting with the mental weight of indecision. Yeah, it's just like, go with it.
Sure.
Like, it could be, let's the Teddy Roosevelt quote. It could be wrong. Like, actually, Jared, it's better to not build that fence.
Sure.
But the fact that I'm doing nothing, the mental weight, and it's staying on my plate.
Especially for those of us non-military leaders.
I will say, you throwing out that. I still think, though, there still might be a truth because.
Surely.
Mental weight versus physical cost.
Teddy was a military leader.
He was. And by all accounts, a pretty good one.
Make a decision and go for it.
Make a decision and go for it.
Do you think the indecision of other people is more taxing than the indecision of yourself?
No.
Speaking from
I don't think so.
non-supervisor role.
Okay.
It is incredibly frustrating when I know a decision needs to be made and that decision is not getting made, and it's hindering me to get done what I need to get done.
But I don't know.
Thinking of a workplace.
Yeah,
setting
no, that's
specifically.
good. That's a good workplace scenario. I don't know if that creates weight or just angst. If it's like, I'm frustrated by that versus the weight of like, well, okay, either way, I'm not liable for the decision. I'm waiting on it. WAIT, not wait, WEIGHT.
Sure.
I'm thinking, and I'm just thinking of the heaviness. Anyway, that's the quick thought of the day. I'm tying it into Finding Nemo because I feel like inaction is a theme of the last couple of movies, and by taking action, notably Dory versus Marlin, hey, the action wins. Take action. You're kind of being indecisive here. Let's go for it. Let's do this thing. Boom.
Interesting.
And yeah. So, especially like inaction of if he literally just sat there and did nothing. So we'll get into that. Actually, you know what? Let's take a break and get into Finding Nemo on Pixar Palooza.
Howdy, everybody. Are you looking for some great resources to use with any group that you work with? We got cards, we got books, all kinds of good stuff. Shift 7, we got from 8-track to emoji. So go on and go to ps.company/store, check it out, and get you some of that stuff. Pretty good. You like that?
I do. Does that character have a name?
No.
Okay, all right.
Not yet.
I like that shtick. That's pretty good. That
Thanks.
might be kind of fun. Yeah, I like that. But yes, you should go to ps.company/store, buy some stuff. I like that. That's a good commercial. Hey, speaking of commercials, Pixar, pretty commercially successful. So the game today is name the top 10 box office winners for Pixar. I've got them in order. You name it if it's in the top 10. Pixar only. You name it. If it's in the top 10, you get a point for it. If you miss it, it goes on to the next person.
Okay.
All
Can I
right?
go first?
You get, here's the way it goes. Yeah, we're doing the top 10 and we'll see who can
10.
get the most.
Okay.
Yeah, you can go first. Let me go first.
All right, Finding Nemo.
Finding Nemo coming in at number 5. That's a point for Lim.
Toy Story 3.
Toy Story 3 coming in at number 3.
Incredibles.
Incredibles, number 10. By the skin of your super suit.
I'll take it.
Toy Story 1.
Toy Story 1, not in the top 10.
Whoa, surprise.
Now I will say this is not
Am I out?
this is not due to inflation. No. You get to keep guessing. It's points. It's a point system, so it's 1 to 1 to 1. But this is not according to inflation.
Okay.
Okay, Kyle.
Inside Out.
Inside Out, number 6.
Let's
Brian.
Coco.
Mama Coco. Number 7.
Monsters University.
Monsters University, number 8.
Nice.
Wow. You guys are on
How
fire.
many do we have left?
4.
4.
Kyle.
Let's do Monsters Inc.
Monsters Inc. not in the top 10. Brian.
Incredibles 2.
Incredibles 2. The number one position.
Wow.
Is that not ridiculous?
That makes
Wow.
sense.
Ridiculous. I mean, it makes sense in a sense. In another way,
Yeah.
not at all.
Is it legal
Brian
to
got
get
that one right. All
to
right.
get the list? Because I've forgotten what's been said.
Yes.
It's illegal.
Incredibles.
So-
Oh, sorry.
No, I'm kidding.
I've written it
so
down.
far. Yeah, go ahead, Kyle.
Incredibles 2, Toy Story 3, Finding Nemo, Inside Out, Coco, Monsters U, and Monsters
That's right. You
Incorporated.
only have 3 more options.
Oh,
Wall-E.
Incredibles. Sorry.
3 more options.
Wall-E.
Wall-E, not on the list. Kyle.
Cars.
Cars, not on the list.
Cars 3.
Cars 3, not on the list.
Wow.
I know.
Cars 2.
Cars 2,
No
not
way.
on the
If
list.
that was going to be on the list,
I know.
we were going to have problems.
Okay. Up.
Up, number 9.
Ooh.
Nice.
2 more.
You got 2 more, Brian. I'm going to tell you, you better get one of these. You better get one of these. You better. 3, 2, 1.
I'm losing track of my
Lemuel.
movies.
Finding Dory.
Finding Dory coming in at number 4.
Oh, dang it. That was a good one, Lim. Good one, Lim.
Kyle, there's one more on the board. I'm surprised it hasn't been said.
Okay. Toy Story 4.
Correct.
Hey.
Number 2 all time.
Let's
Toy
go.
Story 4.
All right. I believe that's the entire list.
Should be one more, right?
I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
All right,
9,
I missed
10.
one.
That's
Never
10.
mind.
All right. It was from 10 to 1. Incredibles, Up, Monsters U, Coco, Inside Out, Finding Nemo, Finding Dory, Toy Story 3, Toy Story 4, Incredibles 2. Lemuel got 1, 2, 3 points. Brian got 1, 2, 3 points. Kyle got 1, 2, 3, 4 points. So by 1 point,
the skin of his
Kyle
teeth.
is victorious.
Let's go.
All right. Yeah,
Matt?
I thought it was fascinating that, of course, the later movies, the sequels, that makes a lot of sense. But
Sure.
Incredibles 2 coming in at number 1 was surprising to me. But our movie of today, Finding Nemo, even though it was one of the earlier ones, Still number 5 all time in the box office.
I believe it.
So it's like the most successful of the early kind of first editions, or that first era of Pixar.
You want to know a super fun fact about Finding Nemo?
Let me hear it.
Finding Nemo is the best-selling VHS tape of all time.
No way.
Wow.
Yes.
No way.
Look it up.
Wow.
More than Titanic?
Best-selling VHS
I guess
tape
that's
of all
2
time.
tapes.
It only gets credit for one. Titanic only gets credit for
Right,
one.
sure.
Yeah, best-selling VHS tape of all time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Blows my
That's
mind.
incredible.
Yep.
But no, it's
Wild.
Finding
No, that's Finding
Nemo.
Nemo.
Yeah, it's not the Incredibles.
Close.
Wow, that is a great fact.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of great facts, did you enjoy anything? Did you learn anything from Finding Nemo? What do you got there?
I'm starting the episode off. I'm starting the episode off hot.
Okay.
I know we normally
Yeah, you
wait
are.
for a little while, but you said specifically that taking action within those moments was the best thing that Marlin could have done. I dare to say that Marlin took incredibly too much action and hence had to make up for those actions being taken.
He was overbearing.
100%.
Are you talking about his overprotect? Now, I'm not necessarily calling that action necessarily.
But he was taking action with Nemo to keep him from doing all of these things. He was deliberately taking action against him doing almost everything. And that then caused every single bit of the movie to happen.
Because his wife's dying wish.
Yeah, I think him. I kind of call that inaction though. Like he didn't let Nemo explore. He didn't let Nemo go to school.
Active
He
inaction.
didn't let Nemo
let
take
Nemo.
action by taking too much action.
Right. Okay. So he was overbred. Okay. All right. Hey, I think that would probably be
That's where I'm at.
the second best thing he could do.
That's where I'm at.
That, according to me and Teddy Roosevelt.
Wow.
Second best thing he could do.
Yeah.
Okay. The worst thing he could do would be no act. Would you rather him be a deadbeat dad? You rather swim off to another reef, find another clownfish, make another.
I'm not exactly
Nemos?
sure how the adoption systems ran in the reef, so I'm not exactly
either.
sure how well it is executed.
But in my Teddy Roosevelt quote defense,
Mr. Ray would be a good
he
dad,
would do the second best thing. Was he doing the right actions? No, he was doing the wrong
Sure.
actions. But that's better than no action. Deadbeat dad.
Sure.
Random quick
I agree with that.
You
aside.
see what I'm saying?
I'll give you that one.
Okay, thank you.
That's
Fair.
fair.
Yeah, fair.
I've heard that if he was an actual clownfish, like in real life,
He would have eaten Nemo.
No, I've heard that he would have become a female and had more eggs.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Apparently, clownfish do that.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Are clownfish asexual?
I don't know. I think they can change their gender.
Wow. Speaking of asexual, what do you think,
Sex.
Lim? You're a sexual over there.
Wow.
Not asexual. Ouch. A sexual being.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
What's the question?
You've lost.
All right,
Liv
let's
is-
keep swimming.
Liv is deep in the woods.
Let's keep swimming.
I know this is one of the few.
in the coral.
I know this is one of the few
Wow.
Pixar movies that you've actually seen, and so I thought you might have an opinion and dropping in on
Not about that.
a sexual
I never get to be on the
creature
podcast
might
again.
be the time to jump in. What do
Wow.
you think?
I'm going to pass on that one.
Smart man.
No comment.
I got some quotes.
Well,
great.
it made me
That is
think,
great.
Kyle. This.
Sure.
I know that we don't normally pick nits on this or
Pick 'em.
really bring up that. If the reef is so safe, why
Yeah.
this immediate danger? Like that seemed like a very unsafe position. You know what I'm saying?
What,
like
the barracuda?
The barracuda with the positioning
Yeah.
of the eggs, it felt like like they're talking about, oh, what a great view, and this is great, and then it's like, wait, the eggs are right there. Is that a safe spot?
No.
Okay. obviously not a safe
They're
spot.
not good at real estate.
They're not.
They're
Anyway,
fish.
that's a nitpick of
Man,
like
maybe that's a lesson in and of itself of going out on a limb, and sometimes it doesn't pay off.
sometimes the risk is too risky.
Taking a risk, not
Yeah.
as good as the reward of the.
All right. Well, any leadership lessons or quotes, Kyle?
I got a lot of stuff.
I like your hot take, Brian. Thank you for coming in hot. That was good.
Yeah. Quotes. Swim down. That's my favorite moment of the whole movie. At the end of the movie, they're in the net.
Okay.
Everybody gets, caught in the net, and then Nemo's the one that's like, swim down.
Yeah.
And saves Dory at the end there.
All swim down together.
Yeah. Another quote, and this is kind of cheating. I'm not going to give myself full credit on this one, but it's from the Finding Nemo musical.
Hey, that was my inspiration zone.
Was it?
Yeah, the musical's great.
It's
If
a
you've
great
not- it's
musical.
great. It's like the movie, of course, but it's different. Different songs, slightly different. Not necessarily different plot, but some tweaks.
Yeah.
It's good.
Go with the flow. It's the Crush song.
It is.
Man, there's so many good moments in that song, but just go with the flow, Marlin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody else?
One of my least favorite quotes from the movie. I promise I will never let anything happen to you, Nemo.
Oh God, that's tough. Tough to promise.
That you can't promise that.
You can't.
That's an impossible promise.
Yeah. Well, it leads to overprotective
It
parenting,
does.
doesn't it?
100. That's what I'm saying. It leads in. It's all connected.
Well, that's one of my leadership lessons.
least
It's like,
favorite
wow,
quotes.
don't be an overprotective parent. That was my leadership lesson. That was tough.
Fave character is Gil.
I like Gil.
Gil's great.
Fish
Willem
aren't
Dafoe.
made to
Willem
be in a box, kid.
That's right. Now, that was one of my quotes. Go ahead. Hit it again, Lim. What's the quote?
Fish aren't made to be in a box, kid. Except that was a bad impersonation.
Willem, is that you?
Wow. He's in the room with us.
Willem Dafoe
Is he here with
has
us
joined
now?
the podcast.
Can you go ahead and like amazingly like look up at the sky for
Wow.
me
Yeah.
in amazement?
Can you give me like a Spider-Man?
You know, Gil is a great
Sorry.
character. What's the line that he says to Nemo? Is it something like, it's simple, but he's like, never stop me. Or something like that about his bad fin. Like when
Yeah.
Nemo's like, I got a bad fin.
I think that's exactly
Never
what
stopped
he's
me.
Never stopped me.
Yeah. That's a good lesson. I like
Yeah.
that.
Hey, I've got a leadership lesson based on that. There is an organization out there, a friend of the show, called the Lucky Fin Project. I think it's based
Okay.
on Finding Nemo, like the
sense.
Lucky Fin
Makes
idea.
sense.
But it's for people with limb difference. One of our previous summer staffers, Katie Holcroft,
Yeah.
really big in
Now
that
Katie
whole
Rowland.
world. Huh?
Now Katie Rowland.
Now Katie Rowland. So sorry. But yeah. The Lucky Fin Project doing a lot of like advocacy and a lot of cool
That's
stuff
cool.
with people with limb
Wow,
difference. So
that's a
that's one of
great
my
shout-out.
things. Like you can take
Yeah.
inspiration from Pixar.
Well, that is great stuff. I got a couple of leadership lessons here to throw in. Fear is a poor partner. Fear is a poor partner. If
Nice.
you're out there living your life by fear like Marlin, it is a poor partner. Find somebody else to dance with because, man, it will cripple your life. If you're making decisions based on fear, good leaders, be careful because it's rarely going to work out for you. Guy, don't you have a great quote about fear? Or
Yeah, fear is a lack of knowledge or experience.
that's
Is that
a
the
great
you're
one. I
talking
do
about?
like that one. No, something about timid.
Timidity creates nothing. Madeline Klein.
There you go.
Yeah, it's from the book Circe. Timidity creates nothing. It's so good.
That's good. That's right. That's
Yeah.
the one I was going for. I was
Yeah.
like, it's not the word fear is not in
Sure,
the quote,
yes.
but it's along the same.
100%.
Timidity. Yeah.
Yeah.
So say it again and give credit where credit's due.
Timidity creates nothing. Madeline Klein.
That's good stuff. Who would you hire? This whole cast of characters.
Oh,
Now, this
so
one's
many.
great. There's
I've
so
got
many
so
options.
many.
This movie even more than Toy Story.
Can I
3.
pick multiple?
I was like, who would we actually hire
Oh,
here?
man.
Ooh.
You know? Now, of course, let's give the caveat, the asterisk. It depends. It depends on the job. It
Depends
depends on
on
the
the
role.
yeah.
That's the same people who don't like to draft. All right? Come on. Just draft. All right?
Yeah.
Who would you
I've got
hire?
mine.
Who would you hire? You got yours?
I've got
Go,
mine.
Brian.
Mr.
Go.
Ray.
Mr. Ray, who you would hire?
Solid.
Give me Mr. Ray.
It's a
all
good
day.
pick.
Hot take. Mr. Ray is terrible at his job.
Loses
No
a kid.
way.
Loses 3 kids.
I lose 3 kids and I'm
3
not
kids.
paying attention.
4? 4 kids,
Four
I think.
kids.
Y'all,
4 kids.
y'all talk about these movies like kids are perfect little beings.
Kids are not perfect little
No,
beings.
they're terrible.
I never got lost in
Kids
class.
are mean
Okay.
and they're rebellious
Yeah.
and they're gonna sneak off.
Shout out
It's
to the
inevitable.
teachers at Hayworth
Yeah, it is the
Public
teacher's
School.
job to not let them get
Never got
lost to
lost.
the other side of the ocean. Okay, let's say Miles goes on a field trip.
I would love to see the background though of what happened with Mr. Ray after all
Miles
this
goes on a
unfolded,
field
you
trip
know?
to the Jinx
keeps his job.
Aquarium. Yeah, he in part
At the
2,
end of the movie.
Hey,
Dory's is his assistant.
forgiveness is a powerful key.
Okay.
Powerful trait.
Can you let me finish?
Sorry, go ahead.
Can you let me finish my statement here
Yes.
and just see what you think? Give me your
Fine.
response. Miles, Nemo. How do you
Yeah.
think? How do you think Nemo is in this movie?
10.
In little kid?
8.
Little eight. I think 8's a
He's
good
probably
age. 8-year-old Miles. He's in 2nd grade.
Yeah.
He goes on a field trip to the Jinx Aquarium.
Great aquarium.
It is a
solid
great
aquarium.
Thank you. Thank you.
Shark Tunnel, underrated.
You go talk to the teacher because you're an overbearing, overprotective parent.
Sure.
And you're like, I just want to make sure that Miles is okay today. And while you're talking to the teacher, because the teacher's lost track of him and 3 of his little buddies, Miles is now in
Australia.
Russia.
Swimming in the shark
Australia.
tunnel.
He's now in Australia. All right. He's been kidnapped. And he's in Australia.
I will find you.
What do you think there, Liam Neeson? You think Mr. Ray is good at his job? Give him a promotion.
No, it's fair.
Yeah, I want to
but
hire him.
You can't blame the one person for this entire
We work
incident.
with students,
I'm coming in
Brian.
hot. I'm coming in hot. It's your hire. This is
It
your
is
it's your
hot.
opinion.
It is hot,
I'm coming in
but-
hot because that was literally my hot take.
Wow,
That
that's
Mr. Ray
hilarious.
was
That
bad
is
was bad
hilarious.
at his job.
Wow.
Who are you hiring? Now, if you want Mr. Ray as like a karaoke singer or something,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
I'm all in.
I will also say there's a reason that I'm not in charge of hiring. Ladies and gentlemen, take notes.
Lemuel, who are you hiring out of all this?
I would either go Gil or Crush.
Nice.
Giller wow.
Crush.
Talk about both ends of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Of who you're hiring
He's
there.
just an easygoing guy. Love his vibes.
Wait, Gil or Crush?
Either.
Gil is not
He's
easygoing.
not easygoing.
Gil is like
No,
camping.
Crush is easygoing.
Gil is
I'll
like Gil
hire-
is camping. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah. Deep stuff. Intense is the real joke, guys. For those of you just
Intense.
Kyle,
T-E-N-T-S.
Who you hiring?
I also had Gillen Crush, and I'm going to add. Yeah.
No way.
Wow.
I'm going to add.
uncanny.
For different
Y'all would
jobs.
hire Gil?
I'm going to add
Wow.
Dory,
Okay.
who's the real main character of the movie Finding Nemo, and
Yes.
Nigel, Pelican.
Oh, Nigel the Pelican.
He's a great character. Tell
Wow.
me one thing that he does wrong in that whole movie.
That's pretty good. That's actually pretty good.
Really supportive. He helps him get into the ocean.
Yeah,
He
Gil's
gives him
solid.
news of the dad and encourages him and says, "You guys can do this."
He knows his role.
Yeah. That's pretty good. I
Dory's
like
a little
that.
bit of liability, but Gil I'm in for.
That's
And
pretty good.
What's his face? Nigel.
Well, I want to hire
Yeah, Dory. You saying Dory's a liability
Absolutely.
compared to her strengths?
Sure, she's got great strengths, but she's also a massive liability.
Listen, I know that she forgets a lot of stuff. She can read. She speaks whale. My hot take.
can
I
read.
literally wrote this
That
hot
is
take.
true.
Marlin would not save Nemo if it weren't for Dory. In fact, I think
Now
Dory.
that, I agree with that.
I think Dory could have saved
I agree
Nemo
with
by
that.
herself.
Dory, her liability.
Well, she would have forgotten.
Well, sure,
'Cause
but she
she-
could have done it.
No, but
Is
she
her
forgot
strength.
what
But
she
she
was
couldn't
trying to
have
do
done
within
it.
the first 10 seconds.
100%.
She's like,
She could not.
yeah,
have
but she
done
couldn't
it.
have done it then. She wouldn't even been going for it.
I think she could have done
I
it.
She couldn't
fully-
find her parents.
I fully
in the
believe
sequel. How's she
Marlin
gonna
was
find
determined
Nemo?
enough.
The fish
How's she
all
gonna
along the
find
way are
little
telling her where to
Fabio?
go.
How's she gonna find little Fabio?
Fabio, Dorito. Yeah.
Wow.
Your hot take was good, but then you went sideways.
Okay. I'll take it back. I'll take it back a notch.
Okay.
Marlin gets way too much credit. Dory saved Nemo.
Dory saved Nemo. I'm okay with that.
her liability is her strength, I think.
Forgetting stuff?
Yeah. Her forgetfulness plays into
You
her
know what?
optimism.
Hey, there might be something into that because I am a huge believer in the Russell Westbrook effect, which is, I think Russell Westbrook, one of my favorite basketball players of all time, Oklahoma City Thunder legend. If you don't know who he is, just Google up Russell Westbrook, one of the top 75 NBA players of all time. I think that man remembers no shot he has missed. I think mid game, like if he could be over 17,
Big
and at
goldfish.
halftime, if you're like, "How's your game? How you playing tonight?" He's like, "I'm good." You're over 17. He's like, "I'm playing great."
Be a goldfish.
It's
you know?
confidence. It's be a goldfish. Exactly. Ted Lasso. So
Wow.
I think there is something to that. Like the forgetfulness of like,
Okay.
you know what? I didn't mess
Fair.
up.
Yeah.
Which is along the lines of your hot take. I like
Fair.
it, guys. Hey, all
getting
that being said,
convinced. I'm
do
getting
you think
convinced.
Nemo has a chance to win this whole thing?
I do.
I do
think
too.
Nemo has the best leadership lessons from, or the best
sure.
characters,
Yeah,
role
I
models
think
for
so
leadership.
Too. I think so too. Because I was going to hire Pearl, by the way, if you're curious.
Oh, nice. That's a good answer.
Great lookout. She does her job. She's a team player. She's supportive. She's sticking up for Nemo. That's enough, Gil.
I've got a red hot take. Can I share it real quick
Red
before we're done?
hot.
Red hot.
Let's finish it off.
Finding Nemo saved Disney.
Finding. Whoa.
Saved.
Wow.
Saved
Finding
the
Nemo.
Walt Disney Company.
Saved
Wow.
the Walt Disney Company. All right, 30
Yep.
seconds. Validate.
If you have read Ride of a Lifetime, you hear about this story where Bob Iger goes to a Disney parade and all of the favorite characters are from Toy Story, Finding Nemo. Finding Nemo is one of Pixar's greatest successes. I think if Disney does not make Pixar one of its subsidiaries, it doesn't succeed nearly as much today. Pixar was the first acquisition, and then came, Marvel, then came Star Wars. It set up the dominoes. So Finding Nemo was that last great straw where it was like, wow, that's an amazing movie. We need to buy this property because they bought it, because Bob Iger took a chance on him. It set Disney up for success for the next 20 years.
You heard it here, folks. If you're a small business owner, go out there and buy Pixar, save your business, and be a good leader.